Hi, I'm Jen Ziegler and I'm a real estate agent in Kitchener-Waterloo, which is an hour outside of Toronto. And today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that I feel like so many people struggle with and yet don't really know who to ask, because when it comes down to asking people, they're already in an uncomfortable situation. So what I am talking about is talking to your friend who's a realtor who you don't think you're going to use for your transaction. So I can understand that this is always a very uncomfortable topic. I mean, I've had people treat me in all different ways, so I can tell you the ones that I found were great and the ones that made me want to never get out of bed. Just kidding, it wasn't that bad. So what I want to talk to you about is, I understand that some people feel uncomfortable about mixing business and personal, which I completely understand. So a couple things I'll say about that when it comes to real estate is, if you're dealing with a friend and they're selling your home or they're buying a home, they don't typically know the money situation. So they probably don't know what you're I personally have sold so many houses and I don't know how much money they have on their mortgage, how much they're putting down. All the financial end of things are pretty private. But so that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. Second of all, people are nervous about their friends because they want to make sure there's accountability and that their friend is going to do a good job. Now, I understand we all have different friends. So personally, a lot of my friends do use me, but I also think that they know how I am personally and how I am professionally is similar, but also that I have a lot of privacy. I hold to a lot of privacy when it comes to their own personal situation of selling their house. And I also always keep everything professional. So I think you need to sit down with your partner and discuss whether or not you think that the real estate agent you're thinking of working with is someone that you know can flip on that professional that professional front, that you feel comfortable negotiating a huge asset, and being able to sort of work through this entire situation. So I know how stressful it is. I know how much anxiety comes around it. And I think it's about having an honest conversation with your friend. So here's what I don't recommend. I don't recommend telling your friend after you've already bought a house, because honestly, it makes them feel like you had a conversation about them, that you chose not to use them, and now they feel uncomfortable that you wouldn't have come and approached them. The other thing I recommend is that if there's somebody else that you feel like you need to go to, because there's a lot of real estate agents out there, I totally get that. And sometimes there's certain people that you're more entitled to go to or feel forced to go to. You know, your mom's forcing you to go to someone, you have to say listen, here's the reason why I'm going to go with them, but I want you to know I still will recommend you and refer you. Even though I can't come to you, I appreciate you. I know we've chatted about real estate before. I know you're fantastic. I would always want to support your business. I'm so upset I can't support this business. Like my own personal transaction, I can't support you, but I do really hope that I can send you business in the future, and kind of and this is why I have to go forward with this person. Having an honest, adult, upfront conversation, as crappy as it is, it will literally make your relationship that much stronger. And it's honestly, you need to do it. I'm sorry, do you know how many times I have had somebody tell me after the fact or not tell me? We will find out. And it's really crappy when we're looking for houses for other clients and we see yours and we're like, oh, that's perfect. And then we realize it's our friend's house and we're like, oh my gosh, I wish they would have just told me, or if I knew, I have someone looking for that, so we could have set something up. And I just think it's a really big mistake when you're thinking of buying or selling to not have that honest conversation. That being said, I also think that just because as a real estate agent, you know someone and they're a friend, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily your client. They may not like the way you do business. You may have said something to them that didn't sit well with them. And that also needs to be an honest conversation, because I think a lot of people assume just because they know someone that they'll then use them professionally, and that's not necessarily the case. And you have to respect that too. So I'm not saying you should definitely use your friend. I think if you have a real estate agent in your circle and you know that they're selling 3 houses a year and don't have a lot of experience, then they're probably not the best person for you. So go to them and say, listen, Joe, I'm super sorry that I'm not able to use you, but unfortunately we have someone else that we're going to move forward with, but we wanted to give you a heads up before you saw our house come up on the market. We're happy to send you business anyways. And if that person reacts badly, then I think that's just an indication of who they are as a person in your life. Because I've had people come to me that I'm very close with and say, Jen, like, we have to use this person. We feel terrible. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, all good. No problem. I'll look for your listing. I'll send people your way. I think having an attitude of abundance and not scarcity has very much been different in my business, in that if one person doesn't use me, then somebody else will. And I just always think that people should go to who they're drawn to and who they feel is a better fit. Now, here is what you don't do with your friend, and really make sure you're listening to this. Do not bring your friend out to assess your place, making them think they're going to get the listing and then not use them. Do not call your friend for pricing or their personal opinion, their professional opinion. Don't call them for the references. Who's your stager? Do not call them in for a price and then list privately. These are all really, really rude things that can absolutely ruin a friendship. Do not have your friend showing you places and walk into an open house and buy it with somebody else. Do not do any of these things. Do not ask your friend for a piece of the commission. Do not ask your friend for a discount on the commission. You know that your friend is going to do what they can for you to give you the best deal that they can for you, and no one is more invested than your friends. I mean, my friends, I want them to get more money than anyone. So you know who I'm negotiating my butt off to get them top dollar. So if someone comes to me and asks me to basically work for free, why am I going to do that? Like, no one's more vested than me to get them the most amount of money that they can. And I think that as much as we want to keep it personal in business, your friends are going to work their butts off for you, because they know also all the other friends are going to hear about it if you don't do a good job. So I think it's really important that you keep those relationships close with people, because I can tell you there has been a lot of experiences in my day, and I've been doing this for 10 years, where friends really hurt me in the way that they handled things. You know, I've had people that have asked me to find properties for them. I've had tons of calls, and then they've walked into an open house and bought something. I've had people that have run me around for 2 years and then been like, oh, sorry, we're gonna go use somebody else. And you also have to remember, and I'm grateful for the money that I do make in this business, but also remember that when you're running around with someone for 2 years, that was 2 years of time away from my family, 2 years of my professional opinion, 2 years of researching, 2 years of responding to all your emails, your calls, my personal gas money, my time, everything, and I make nothing. So you walk into somebody else and you just take advantage of that, and there's nothing that can make you feel more worthless than someone doing that. And I'm telling you, you have to really not like your friend if you're willing to do that over some guy in an open house telling you he's going to give you $1,000. Like, think about it, and think about the relationships and the people around you, and also the legacy that you want to leave and the relationships and the people you want to have around you. Having a real estate agent in your pocket, or a friendship with a real estate agent, is so great, because I think you forget how quickly and how much we can help. You know, what assessments do I do? Me and John are breaking up. Like, can you help me out? What should I do? Can you find out what that house sold down for the street? Our pipes burst. Can you send me a good plumber? We really want to put on a good deck. How much money do you think we can put into our kitchen and get our money back? Do you think we can get rid of the ensuite and add another bedroom? Like, these are all questions that you want to ask from a trusted advocate that's in your circle that you know is looking out for you. So why would you ever lose that relationship over somebody that is working for a seller? That's not working for you, that is fully looking at a transactional way of business, when the real estate agent around you is relational. And I may not be the norm. I mean, you may know real estate agents that aren't like that. You may know real estate agents that aren't doing what you would expect, or doing shading things or sneaky things. Then those aren't your realtor. Then you just say to them, listen, I don't like the way you deal business. I'm finding somebody else that I trust. And start asking your friends, how were your experiences? Did you trust them? Did you like them? Did they take care of you? Did they follow up with you? Was everything smooth? It's just really, really important. And I just really want everyone to know this, because I think a lot of real estate agents, as much as they may not tell you, struggle with this portion of the business, because it can feel really crappy when people hurt you and when people just act like, even though maybe you'd thought about me, but then didn't use me. I don't know that, because that was never said to me. So I just say, hey, Jen, you know, we're looking to sell. We got 3 really close real estate agents around us, but unfortunately we can't go with you, but we just want to let you know you're in our top 3. And that to me is like, great. I mean, I've never been upset when someone's been upfront and honest. I've only been mad when someone snuck around it or, you know, took advantage of me at the end. So here's your tips to keep realtors your friends, because we're great people to have around. And I know this is a little bit more serious of a message, but I honestly just want you to think about this. And I think a lot of people have danced around this topic and also had the uncomfort. And if you talk to any real estate agent that you know, if this has ever happened to them, I guarantee you they'll have stories on stories on stories. So make sure that that story is not about you. So I'm Jen Ziegler. Remember to always follow your heart in real estate. Take care.